ThunderCats!
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
Hey, how are you? I'm Larry Kenny, the voice of Lion-O, here today for my good friends Ryan and David. You may know if you listen to the podcast Radical Retro Rewind.
I love it. All of it.
Radical Retro Rewind.
She even looks older.
Likes my art collection?
Yeah, we've heard that one before, Mummy.
What is it? I heard him shout.
Oh yeah, ThunderCats! Ho!
Who you calling a hoe?
Welcome back, Bunglers, to a new episode of our ThunderCats Reviews, brought to you by the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with everyone's favorite brother, David. And guess what? Today, we have a special guest, one of our Bunglers and friends. We have Daniel, who is one of the hosts of Geeks with the Beard podcast, and we have been so excited. He has supported us this past year. We are always getting love from him, comments. We appreciate him so much, and we are so excited to have him on the show today as our little comeback before season 4 begins. So thank you so much, Daniel, for being here.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. Like you said, I've been listening to you guys for probably a little over a year. Found you through the ThunderCats episodes. And I'm like, hey, there's a podcast that talks about the ThunderCats cartoon. I was like, that's cool. And I've been hooked ever since. I listened to your main show with the movies as well. ThunderCats is what got me into you guys, for sure. That's what hooked me to start listening.
You know what, Daniel? We've been so lucky. That's why we love our Bunglers. Like, a lot of Bunglers have actually crossed over, and that is, like, the biggest compliment. That, you know, like, you listen to us for ThunderCats, but some come over to hear us talk about movies. So Daniel is one of them, and we just appreciate all of you.
Yeah, it's
great.
So Daniel, let's talk about your podcast before we go any further.
Okay.
You are a comic book, what would you say, lover, passionate about comic books.
I'm a pretty big fan of comics, yeah.
And that is what you discuss on your podcast with your co-host.
It is, yeah. The Geeks with Beards podcast. We're mostly a comic book kind of review podcast. And we also do toy reviews, which are on YouTube. We go through the different eras. Like our last episode that we just recorded yesterday, actually, was about Dr. Fate from DC Comics, his origin from 1941. Oh. So we bounce around. We haven't done a whole lot of modern stuff. We've only done a couple of, within the last maybe 5-10 year books. Mostly we've done like 80s, 70s, 60s, and earlier stuff. So any era of comics is, it's fair game for us to do. We just have to find something that we're interested in doing and cover it. So,
which is genius because you're not held into one generation. You're going, like you said, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. And you do still do modern stuff as well sometimes.
Oh, we definitely will. Like this ThunderCats comic, at some point we're going to cover at least one issue of each book. Yeah, I mean, we don't pinhole ourselves in just one, company or one character. And a lot of this stuff is first time reads for us. Like I've never read Dr. Fate, nor has my co-host Sean. He's never read Dr. Fate. So this was something both of us were experiencing for the first time. And then we'd done the very first issue of Fantastic Four from 1961 because of the new movie that came out.
Right on time.
Yeah, I had never read that or any really Fantastic Four comics, but he did. So that's one thing too, that we get introduced to stuff that we've never read before on both of us like that. And then things that we have read, we get to re-experience it, share it with our listeners, talk to each other about it, so it's really a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And I'm glad that you guys listen to us and support us. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
you. Of course.
Now, were you friends prior to this? Did you discuss, what we have this shared passion of comics? Why don't we do something?
Yeah, actually, we are coworkers. We've known each other for almost 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I started getting into comics probably in the 90s with like the death of Superman and some early Green Lantern stuff. Because before that, in the 80s, I was mostly just into cartoons and the toys. So I didn't really start reading comic books until the 90s. Sean, he might have started reading a little bit before me, but I don't think so. But yeah, we've been knowing each other for almost 18 years, and we just talked about it a little over almost 2 years ago. Hey, dude, we both like comics. We still read them, we still collect them. Why not do a podcast about it? Okay, sure. So he's in a punk rock band. here in Tennessee. So he has the whole setup, microphones,
Which is
recording
great.
equipment. So every 2 weeks I go to his home and we record there. So yeah, it's just a bunch of fun. You know, two guys that's known each other for a while, talk about comic books. It's fun, you know.
And of course, Bunglers, we will have Daniel's links in the description to his YouTube, to his Instagrams.
Thank you.
So of course. So please check this out. And of course, it shows that you've known each other for 18 years. I mean, that's an amazing. And by the way, so did Sean do your theme song, being in a band?
No, actually, the one that we had, the previous theme song, our first one, was done by a bandmate of his. Now, the one we have now, it's the old Superman theme that they have from like, the Fleischer cartoon.
Yes.
He cut together. But our first song was from a band member of his. So he's still got his music still involved.
Why don't we ask Daniel a little more about his ThunderCats fandom? So, David, do you want to take that away?
So we kind of always talk about how we... bring... you know I got love for that. You know I got love.
Daniel just held up one of the Super 7's Bengali figures, looking fantastic.
Yeah, because the vintage one is just out of my budget, unfortunately. So Super 7 is a great replacement.
I know. Believe me. We always talk about how we kind of discovered, you know, our passions, our love. We talk about with other people how, I remember, you know, some people were latchkey kids and they came home and they were, you know, I remember at 3:00, He-Man and She-Ra on, followed by this, or G.I. Joe. What's your like earliest memory? Yep, Transformers or Gem, you know, followed by G.I. Joe or whatever. But what sort of got you into ThunderCats?
I don't really remember the first moment I watched them. I've always loved the cartoons. Like you said, Transformers is my first love. It always has been. But I was born in 1980, so by the time I was old enough to kind of watch TV, they were still pretty high up, but they were kind of starting to dwindle down. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Transformers and Joe, ThunderCats, He-Man, Jim, Brave Star, you know, all those great cartoons of the 80s. Mm-hmm. And one cool thing was my mom, at the time, which I have a younger brother, at the time I was the only child at the time, but mom would sit down and watch cartoons with me. She's a big Transformers fan too. She grew, she watched them with me as a kid.
Love that.
Yeah. ThunderCats, I don't remember the first time I watched it, but I do know it was probably, it might have been toward the tail end of it, maybe when I first started seeing it, because I think they were already on New Thundera when I first started watching it as a kid. And then I went back and I remember some of the reruns I believe Toonami were showing on Cartoon Network.
God, the best memories as a kid.
Yeah, but no, man, growing up in the 80s was awesome. I miss the 80s. I miss the cartoons. That's why I have the DVD box sets that I've bought. That way I can keep my childhood and recapture it, you know. At almost 45, I'm still a kid at heart, so, you know.
You know what? Keep that as long as possible, Daniel.
Yeah.
I feel like we are the people that see the beauty in these cartoons and appreciate them, I think are very good people.
Yeah, and they're just, I don't know, a lot of people I talk to, they were just like, well, they were 80s cartoons. They weren't that, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. They weren't that interesting. But you haven't watched them. They are so much deeper than you think. They're not just action cartoons or science fiction cartoons. There's actually messages in there that even as kids, I picked up a little bit. Like Optimus Prime, you know, has always been a character I looked up to, almost like a second father kind of figure, you know. And then just all of the morality stuff with He-Man and Brave Star, even the ThunderCats, even though they didn't really have their post-episode messages kind of like He-Man, they kind of did, but there was always morality in there. Lion-O would always tell one of them, hey, look, we can't do this. We got to do it this way. And it's just, I don't know. People don't understand. I guess if they've never seen them, they just see them as 80s schlock and nothing worth watching.
1,000%, Daniel. 1,000%.
I'm like, you really need to check these cartoons out. They're not just for children. They really aren't.
That is the best thing, right? Yes.
And I'm not disrespecting any of the new cartoons. They're great too. But this is what I grew up with, so it's always going to have a closer place in my heart. I'm going to go back to those a little bit more than I will anything new that I see come out. But I don't know, just people give the 80s cartoons a chance. You know, that's just my opinion. Give them a chance. I think you would really enjoy them. And there's so much to choose from. They put so much out back then. There's so much to choose from, you know.
And each one had an amazing theme song.
Oh, so they did.
Music definitely is the what do we say, the theme of our lives. But it's so funny that what you just said, because we had Samantha Newark on not that long ago, the voice actress of them, and she basically said how they wrote very smart scripts with very adult, with a very adult theme on purpose. They didn't want to talk down to kids. Yeah. They actually wanted to introduce them to very important things like drugs and depression and other things. And so I 100% agree with you, like hands down, like people are missing the mark when they think it's just silly, stupid, like fluffy 80s. Oh, there was,
or a toy commercial. That's the other thing.
So, I mean, obviously we know that they did want to sell toys, and they did. Yeah. Because we're trying to collect them again when we had them, or some of us already had them and lost them.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks, Dad, for throwing away my stuff from the basement, all of my everything, including all of my Return of the Jedi stuff that's probably was worth so
his
much.
Ewok village.
Thanks. Anyway, my Millennial Falcon. Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, do you have a favorite episode or characters or character from the series?
From ThunderCats?
Yeah.
I, honestly, after rewatching, and I've stopped because I'm watching with you guys now. I'm caught up with you guys. So as of what I've seen so far, honestly, Bengali would probably be top with, probably Panthro next. Lionel he's still there, but I feel like everybody's like, well, the leader, but I really like Bengali, and I wish he'd got more time in the show. I get it. You have a lot of characters. They have to do certain things with them. That's why I love the new comics they're doing. They are so focused on him in the Lost comic book. That's kind of his book in a way.
They're genius for doing that, I think.
Yeah. And probably one of my favorite episodes, I forget the name of it, so excuse me on that one, but the one where Lionel and Snarf, they go, I think they're captured by the pirate or whatever, and they're on his little planet, and he's got his little ship house built. And,
oh my god, yeah,
that's one of the funniest episodes.
Is it Cracker's Revenge?
Might be Cracker's Revenge. It might be, That was just one of the funniest episodes I've watched, because it's, until I started rewatching these with you guys and listening to you guys, it had been a while since I've seen them. I have the DVDs that they'd done, I think in 2005, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh yes.
And it had been a minute since I'd watched those, so it's almost a first time watch again for me on some of these episodes. So I'm experiencing them again. It's just great. So
that's the one thing about getting old, Daniel, that's actually good, because you can forget most of the plot of these episodes and be like, oh, this is new again.
And like I said, I watched so many cartoons growing up. I'm lucky to remember one or two episodes per cartoon. So.
And it's really funny because Daniel's saying that he saw a lot of the older episodes when they were on New Thundera already, where a lot of people, like our fans and friends and different people from all over the world, that people that are saying that they, in the UK, for example, they only saw like the first season or two, and they didn't get to see any of the other stuff because it never was released.
That always boggles my mind how that works.
And it's crazy. So like they don't know anything about Mumm-ra got lost again.
Oh, Mumm-ra.
Poor Mumm-ra.
Poor Mumm-ra.
Oh, I wanted to ask about some of the collectibles that you're getting, the LJN figures. So
yes,
we saw Bengali. Is there anything else that you're like on your hit list or you have right now that you're already?
Oh gosh, let's see. Well, that was the Super 7 one. I pulled a couple more because it's going to have something to do with the comic book here in a minute. But I've got older Tigra.
Old Tigra.
Which more show accurate, so.
So
and
true.
this was almost a grail for me in a way, because it took forever to find her in such great shape. But a Chitara. Now these weapons are reproduction weapons that I found on eBay, but they are great. I think. I mean, they look amazing to me. So I had no problem with reproduction weapons.
Daniel, I love that. First off, they do. They look beautiful. Yeah. They look authentic. And
I'm sorry. There you go, David.
No, you're good.
Basically, I mean, her bow staff is honestly, it is basically just a little piece of wood, but hey, it works for me.
True.
So. And then Tigra's, watch her not stand. And then Tigra's whip. And
look at the bowl. The bowl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
and this is, I mean, the accessories alone are, forget about it. Try to get the weapon for, I mean, everyone has a sword of omens, but they don't have a bolo whip for Tigra or the nunchucks.
That's why I was glad to find the seller. And unfortunately, his name escapes me at the moment, but that's why I was glad to find the seller, because a lot of the original weapons, even Tigra's bolo, was like $30. I'm like, no.
And that seems even like cheap for them. And sometimes you see them, you're like, what? This is more expensive than Super 7's new figure.
Let's see. I have the rest of them on my wall, but I have Lionel.
Lionel back there.
Yeah, I have Lionel with Snarf. That was the 2-pack version. I have Mumm-ra and Mom-Mutt. And I have Wily Kit and Molly Cat, but they're the static PVCs. I'm just like, that's fine. I think they look a little bit better than the figures. The only one that I'm missing any weapons with is Groom. I got a great figure. He's a mint condition figure in my opinion, but I'm just missing his weapons. So I think he's the only one I need to complete is Groon right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, and as far
so we
as
need a mace for Daniel, a Groon mace. Is that his?
Putting it out there, people.
he had a mace and almost like a knuckle duster kind of weapon too. I believe.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
And I've got a few others I got put up as well. I've got a Hachiman, Slythe. I got most of the mutants. One of the ones I'm trying to get eventually is I may try to get the Berserkers. I don't know yet if I want them all or not, but maybe.
That's awesome.
Especially as the years go on, it seems like they're just getting harder and harder to find these LJN figures, unfortunately.
Especially in decent condition for sure, because as you guys know, because you have some, Ryan, I seen your video where you had found your childhood ones. Unfortunately, paint wear, the gimmick paint on the arms goes bad sometimes, so
the leg that droops or is
And if Lion-O and Mumm-Ra, the electronics don't always work sometimes. So if you have a certain condition that you want to find them in, it gets harder, unfortunately. It really does. And I'm a loose collector, so it makes it harder for me.
Or not chewed on, right? Like a sword someone chewed on, or point 1985.
Which I was guilty of that on He-Man as a child. I ate his fingers.
You know what? Those accessories were tempting.
You don't think about it. You don't think about that stuff because who knew we were going to be sitting here how many years
40
later,
years later,
thinking about,
40.
am I going to be able to buy that on eBay? Meanwhile, we had think about it. When you went to the store and there was so many of them, they were like $5, 10, whatever it was. Then I'm thinking to myself, I could have.
That's why we need to go back in time just for a day and just go, now it's
like when I see things and I'm like, when they do these reproductions, I'm like, shit, I need to buy two because I want to play with one and I want to have one in the box. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have so many things. It's so funny. We talk about having the accessories. Ryan knows this story. I bought a lot of something and I have do you remember in Visionaries?
Yes.
Visionaries. I have 10 staffs from Visionaries because I bought a lot. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I have them. I have only had
Visionaries.
Yeah, and is a niche little toy line, but man, they're expensive too to find.
Oh my God, they're
technology.
Expensive. And I'm I just remember just being these little holographic things. So I have them displayed. I just have the staffs. I have one figure. He's got a lot of staffs.
There you go.
Speaking of bringing the past back, and Daniel mentioned it, Dynamite in the last year, Daniel, or are we approaching 2 years?
Almost 2 years. The regular book, I think, just did the 20th issue, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Okay, so this is flying. So Dynamite Comics, they're on a roll, Daniel. Captain Planet.
A lot of IPs. They do a lot of IPs right now.
Silverhawks for any of our brother in cartoon, what has been and we'll get into more stories, but what is your initial feeling about Dynamite and how they're tackling this story?
The ThunderCat comic was the first time I'd actually read anything from the Dynamite comic book publisher.
Same, actually.
And first issue blew me out of the water with what they were doing, because modern people can jump into it, but there's also so many callbacks to the original cartoon that if you're a fan of the original cartoon, you're going to know these characters. You're going to know maybe something they say or a place that they show in the comic. I did not read the original 80s comics, so I can't compare it with the old comic books.
Yes.
But what Dynamite's done with this, it's blown my mind. And what they've done with Lost, which now I have the newest issue with me, issue 6, and it's just as great. So both books, they're not hurting because they've got 2 books out right now. They're both amazing. And I recommend them to anybody that's a ThunderCats fan to pick them up.
So we have ThunderCats Lost, which is a spin-off. There's also, I don't know if it's done now, but there was a Chitara little run.
There was a miniseries. Yeah, it is finished right now. They're actually going to come out with another one-shot Chitara World Breaker. And I think it's going to be another prequel, if I'm not mistaken. And then Pumira's going to get a one-shot too, either next month or a little bit later this year. Pumira's getting a one-shot as well.
She's finally going to have
validation. She's getting validated.
Her in Lost is amazing. They've done a lot with that character in this Lost comic. Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then of course there is the Powerpuff Girls meets ThunderCats, which I did pick up the one that was free. I didn't get it for free. I bought it, but it's just. Again, I'm shocked that we are having not just one ThunderCat comic, multiple covers.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many. There's probably at least 8 to 10 covers per issue that they put out.
Is that the hardest part, though, for you, Daniel, too, even picking out the cover?
It is, because there's so many great artists that do the covers. So it's really, I get an email from the online company that I order them from, and they're like, hey, cover selections will be ending in a couple of days. I'm just like, oh, no, I got to go through 12 covers to choose one. But they're all great artists that do them. It's fun to go go through and choose them. If I could get all of them, I would, but you know, you got to do what you got to do.
It adds up.
How is the Powerpuff Girls comic? I hadn't read that, the ThunderCats crossover.
I mean, from the first issue, it was they're doing it with love for both properties. I mean, for what I remember of the Powerpuff Girls, you know, growing up, just watching it, the art is really cute, which is another, you know, if you're into like a cutesy art, it's cute.
Yeah, I've seen a few little advertisements in the regular books for it, and I'm like, well, it looks nice, but I'll probably just stay with, you know.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, really, but...
Right.
I mean,
we have a listener that picked it up, and she said it was really good too. So,
great!
I'm glad it's another option for ThunderCats fans and Powerpuff Girl fans. So,
do they have their powers?
That's right. There's something happening. Maybe they don't have their powers or something when they went to Third Earth. I think that's what happened.
Okay,
but tell me how. Tell me how, where, and why. But it's cute. It's cute. Do you have any hopes too for storylines? Are you like reading these now? Are you having your head spin and go, oh, what if they did this? What if they did this storyline? What if Mumm-ra, I don't even know. What if Mumm-ra, it sounds like she's doing well at least.
There's not really anything at the moment that I can think of, unfortunately, on the spot, but they are weaving a story that I can't wait to see where it goes and everything that happens with it. It's a time travel kind of story that involves Lion-O, and it's got to do with the Apex one-shot that they did. I think it was earlier this year, I believe.
Another one-shot, yes. I remember this.
That's the main kind of little storyline that they're doing right now that I'm really, really interested in seeing where they take that. Because again, it is a time travel situation. So it's someone from the future popped back up in present and trying to warn the ThunderCats, help the ThunderCats before something bad happens to them.
Oh.
So I'm really interested to see where that goes.
Also, Daniel, I mean, again, spoilers are against Bunglers. If I didn't even think of that, but
I try not to spoil too much because I know you guys haven't really read the new ones. I hate to ruin anything for you guys.
I've noticed they have this red armor. Is that like something that all the ThunderCats have now? It's like an armor of thunder.
Yeah, it just popped up within the last couple of issues of the comic, and I believe, oh gosh, I forgot now. I think it's Thundrillium. I believe they made it out of Thundrillium, I believe. Yeah, it's hard to say anything that's one anything, but basically, you know, Panthro kind of had a run in with Mumm-ra. He got a little banged up, so he's having to wear like a brace armor suit kind of until he heals up a little bit. So it's like they're like battle armor. It kind of just come out of nowhere a couple issues back, so it's okay. I don't know. It's I don't hate it, but I kind of just miss them in their regular outfits fighting. So,
are you okay so far of how they are modernizing the story? It sounds like you're enjoying what they're doing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love what they're doing with the story right now on both books. I don't think they've strayed away too much from the original material whatsoever. Actually, if anything, they're probably adding to the lore. Again, I only have the original cartoon to go by. I don't have the original comic books. So if they're pulling anything from the comics, I may be missing that. I just recognize stuff from the cartoon. So,
you know, I have some of the original ones, Daniel, and a lot of them, I gotta tell you, are just redone episodes of the cartoon just in comic form. So they'll retell like, you know, the tower with Baron Karnar or whatever the heck that was with the jewels. Like they'll do those episodes a lot of the time. So I do also remember the Wildstorm one in the 90s that came back for a little while.
I never read those. No, this is the first time I've actually put hands on a ThunderCat comic was the Dynamite stuff. So yeah, I
would love to actually see what you think of the Wildstorm comics if you're able to get some of them, because they even had a storyline, I think it was called Dogs of War, where a race of dog creatures were battling with the ThunderCats.
Okay. Hey, could be a possible episode. You never know.
You know, see?
You never know. We'll have to see.
See, this is why you have to follow Daniel's podcast and along with them. For future episodes, do you have anything planned that listeners could, like you did the death of Superman, but maybe there's another storyline that might be coming up that's, you know, to get people enticed?
An exclusive for us?
We kind of do it by the seat of our pants, but I can tell you what the next episode will be that we will be recording in a couple of weeks. We will be covering Sailor Moon. We're going to do the manga.
Oh, that's
and this is the first time it's the first time we've ever did a manga. First time I've ever read a Sailor Moon manga.
It's so different.
My co-host Sean, his wife, is a big fan of the Geek Sailor Moon, and she's got some of the manga.
Sean's wife is very smart.
Yeah. So she shared one of the mangas with us, and we're going to read a couple of stories out of it for our next episode.
My God,
So it'll be a first time experience for me. I've watched a little bit of the cartoon back in the day, but I've never read any of the mangas.
I am so excited for this because I did collect that run in the 90s of the Of course, they redid it in less geek-ized for.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure the publisher on this one. I don't have it in hand at the moment, unfortunately. But once I get that information, I'll definitely send you a message about it, Ryan. That way you can know about it.
Oh, I would
more in detail.
I cannot wait. And I can't wait to listen to it as well.
Yeah,
too. And
it'll be an experience for me, that's for sure.
And it's a different thing for even your listeners as well, because manga, does have that. It's black and white. It's not as bright and colorful as the DC or a Marvel comic. So that's another just little thing to touch on.
No, that's very true, because I've read a little mangas here and there. I own a couple of mangas for Transformers that they did. So I had to tell Sean, I was like, yeah, they're black and white. There's not really any color except a couple of pages here and there at the beginning or the end. But yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun for me. For him, both.
You know what I will say, what I remember from that manga is the creator, and God forgive me, I can't, I could barely speak to begin with. Nieko Tamaguchi, but I don't even know. Neko. She would draw some like people melting, their faces melting off. Like, it's so different from scenes in there, is so different from what you get in the 90s anime. It's so funny. So yeah, skin falling off skulls and people vaporized. So it is a different take on Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
I'm so excited for this episode now. So we are going into season 4, Daniel.
Yes.
In this month. We're coming to a close of the original run of ThunderCats. And I mean, it's bittersweet because
it is, yeah.
1985, it's such a classic. What would you though? I mean, again, we're asking Daniel out of nowhere. What would you have liked maybe ThunderCats ending like? David and I, we just watched the 5 that we're recording, and we were like, oh, that's what happened again. Oh yeah, the gyromancer, whatever the hell thing.
My memory of the ending is just blank. I honestly don't remember how the show ended. I really don't.
But what would have been your perfect ending? Feelings. Like, how would you have ended 1985 if you could have?
Yeah, I think I would have wanted probably a definitive ending with Mumm-ra being like the action guy. I think I would have liked like one final battle between him and Lion-O. I don't know. Gosh, that's a very hard question to answer.
I know. I just thought of it now, and I'm like,
no,
wait.
No, I'm
I
glad
you gave me these ahead of time.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I think I would have liked to have like one final battle between Lion-O and Mumm-ra. Kind of had a definitive ending. Not necessarily. Of course, we're not going to kill Mumm-ra. I don't see Lion-O doing that. I believe maybe just depower him somehow and trap him, maybe like in a Phantom Zone situation, or maybe have Mumm-ra come around and see his side and the Thunderian side of how life should be and treat people the way that they treat them, and don't be so mean. Don't be so dark. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe just a happy, a happy, and maybe it is how. Maybe there was some happiness to the ending. Honestly, I can't remember.
Although, I mean, if they had gotten to season 5, I guarantee you, even if Mumm-ra was killed off, he would have just been whoop. Here I am again.
Yeah, like when the volcano exploded and he pops back up in the next episode.
Oh, David hates that star of Thundera.
I mean, if a whole star's not going to kill you, come on. Yeah, what's the story going to? But Daniel has a good point, because I could see him, like, if you had the origin of Mumm-ra, where you go back and see before he was claimed by evil, because he had to have been like a pharaoh or some sort of like Egyptian past, we're assuming, right? Well, because I know we had that conversation about the samurai, the shadow of, or there's some sort of origin story where maybe he would lose his power because he is almost like humanized, right?
I'm kind of surprised. And again, with the new comics, they may go there one of these days. They haven't got there yet.
Right.
I would have loved to seen some origin, if it was just a 2-parter episode for Mumm-ra. Kind of let you know, like you said, David, where the evil got him. Why did it get him? What happened to him in his existence that made him turn evil?
I love that.
That'd been great. I'd love that.
And as we get into the 2011, Daniel, that almost seems like they were playing with that, with the shared world of even tiger sharks and silverhawks and Mumm-ra possibly experimenting with DNA, and it was like they were setting things up. It seems like.
Yeah, there was so many plans I think that they had laid. They probably had 2 or 3 seasons already laid out, and unfortunately, that time frame of Cartoon Network it didn't come to fruition for them because there were things that I loved about that show. I love the anime style of the way it was done.
Speaking of anime, right?
Yeah, I love the style. I love the voice acting. I actually like the idea of Tigra and Lionel being brothers. I like that. That's different from the original cartoon. Some people probably didn't like it. I think some changes might have offset some fans, but it didn't bother me. I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was really disappointed. Unfortunately, they only got, what was it, 26 episodes?
Yeah, I think it was a season and a half?
Yeah, Cartoon Network was weird how they did that. It was odd. But yeah, I was really disappointed in that. Same as I was disappointed in the Master Universe series that they did, unfortunately. It only did like 39 episodes, and then just, you tease Hordak, and then like,
The Snake Man, that's right. Yeah. I remember watching it with David, and remember Sorceress was like bitten by a snake man too, and she was like possibly dying. Yeah. What a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they kind of did. They did King Hiss a little dirty. They kind of had to wrap it up real quick, I guess, So yeah, I don't know. I love that cartoon. I don't own it, unfortunately. I need to find the DVD set for the 2011 cartoon because I really need to rewatch it.
It's getting cheaper, Daniel. Because I remember like you had to buy one half of the season, just like the old ones, and you had to buy book 2, they called it, then book 3. So now they have the complete season.
And some cartoons, you would never even get them completed. They would give you a couple of volumes and then just stop. And you're just like, well, what can I do? I can't complete the series now.
That's so true. Even back in the day on VHS, they would start releasing episodes and then, no, sorry, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Daniel, we'll have to probably, if you want, we would love to have you probably for the 2011 series then on an episode.
Oh, gosh, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, wherever I can find it to watch it, let me know for sure, yeah.
It's actually, I believe still, it might be streaming for free on Hulu, I want to say. But if not, we could always try to work out and send you the episode if we'll get it somehow.
I would love that. Thank you guys. Yeah,
with lovely Leah, of course. She's always working behind the scenes. Yeah. So, speaking of, thank you, Leah. Daniel, is there anything else that you wanted to say before we were, like, let's say, wrap up?
This property, it's not a top property for me as far as when I was growing up as a child, but it's a very high one. I love the characters. I love the story that they did in the old cartoon. I love what they're doing with the new comic books. They've introduced at least 2 new characters in this Lost comic. Nico, a new female ThunderCat, and Ligon, another male. He's a lion, of course, due to his name. He's kind of the muscle.
Big guy, right? He's a big, strong-looking guy. Bigger than Panthro.
He is. Yeah, he's a pretty good-sized guy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love ThunderCats. I grew up with them as a kid, and they've always been in one shape or form throughout my life, where I've watched 2011 cartoon, whether I watched, reruns of the original cartoon. I love the retro stuff. I love the nostalgia of the old stuff. Like, it keeps me feeling young. It keeps me happy, and not so positive times sometimes that the world has. It keeps me happy and smiling, when other things might make me a little sad. So
I love this. Escapism to something.
And ThunderCats it's that sword and sorcery stuff like He-Man is. And you can pop in a DVD or a VHS tape or, like you said, stream it, whatever, and it'll just take you away. It takes you to the magical world of Third Earth or Thundera. And for that 30 minutes or that however long you want to watch it, you're there. You're experiencing that adventure with them, and everything else is just, it's not there anymore, so.
Beautifully
Man,
said.
you summed up ThunderCats and nostalgia amazing, Daniel. That's what we do. And hopefully, escapism, because we all need it. We all need it. We don't need to be in the world and the news 24 hours, escape into a world of Thundera.
Yeah. And I mean, that doesn't mean that you turn a blind eye to what's going on. I'm not saying that, but sometimes you need that, like you said, that escapism. You need that little bit of vacation from real life sometimes.
Beautifully said. Beautifully. And you get a moral, like you said, you get an adventure, great music. I mean, ThunderCats is just, again, 40 years later, and it's still telling these stories beautifully.
Yeah, and like David said, the music of the 80s cartoons and TV shows was lightning in a bottle. It really was. I mean, ThunderCats,
they need to replicate it somehow because they're not doing too good.
No, that's one thing that kind of upset me about the 2011 series. Didn't really have much of a theme song with that show, really.
A title, and especially when you have a show like ThunderCats, you have a legacy of a theme song. So just redo.
Isn't it funny how music can transcend? We saw that how Stranger Things brought back running up that hill.
Yeah.
That became after 30 years, and it became number one. We saw that how Connie Francis, a singer from she was from the 40s. 40s became 50s became like a number one song again out of nowhere because people recognized and became famous because of somebody just happened to it caught on. So I mean, and it's just amazing how music can transcend that if given the opportunity as well. So again, I feel like we're also giving these properties opportunities to other people to see what we saw in it originally, or even when we saw it,
or when we, like Daniel said,
and rediscovering it.
Rediscovered it later on and rewatched it again older.
Oh yeah, and music like a smell can bring a memory back to you. It can touch an emotional chord. You know, like if I hear a theme song from a cartoon or a TV show or just a song period from the 80s, it takes me back to when I was a kid, or again, it just makes me smile, you know, because it just reminds me of a happy time. And I think that's what it, like you were saying, David, with people rediscovering this stuff, it hits them on an emotional basis. Sometimes I think it hits something in their heart or their mind that maybe they didn't feel before, and it opens them up to new experiences. And hey, let's check this music out. Let's see what else this person did and what other, you know, emotions these songs bring us. Yeah, never shut off the past. The past has got some great stuff in there that people need to rediscover for sure.
Daniel, you were speaking our language, of course. So, where can our bunglers find you? And again, we will have Daniel's links in the description box wherever you're listening to this. We'll have it to his show. What would be the best to reach you, though, at, Daniel?
Oh, yeah. We're on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Podbean, all those places. We have a Facebook page. Instagram, all Geeks with Beards podcast. We have the YouTube channel that has our audio episodes up, so you can listen to them at your convenience. Also, we have the toy review videos. There are not as many of those, but we're getting there. We're going to catch up on some of those. We actually did one for Lion
figures. Bunglers, go see those LJN videos.
Yeah, we actually did one for the LJN Lion. I'm going to try to get some more done for the ThunderCats line in the future as well. So yeah, and we have an email, geekswithbeardspod@gmail.com. You can send us, little audio snippets if you want to be included in one of our episodes. If you have any history or thoughts on any of the comic book characters or stories that we cover. So we're pretty much anywhere you can find us. So
perfect, bunglers. Please help this amazing person. Daniel, again, has supported us. So wonderful. Comments, messages, reposting things. He gone beyond, and we appreciate it so much, Daniel. Truly.
Yes.
Your support.
And being here today. Being
here today, of course.
Oh, I was a nervous wreck. I was like,
no.
You are a natural. You're a natural.
Like meeting with an old friend. This is beautiful. This is what we love to do. I wish we did this more. We hopefully will be doing that. Actually, I think this season we will be doing this.
Yeah, we want to do some live streams maybe where we could have people come on and talk on YouTube and interact.
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be great. I'm waiting for tomorrow, the last episode for Nightmare on Elm Street. So
I gotta finish editing, but it will be there. It'll be there by midnight.
Now that you told me that Plex has the Freddy's Nightmare series, I need to get back on there and finish watching that, because I think I got halfway through season 1 before it fell off of Tubi.
That's where I thought for sure. I was like, oh no, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Yeah, it was.
And I went back and I was like, oh, it's gone from Tubi.
Yeah, that's how Tubi works. Unfortunately for me, it's like I'll get into something, I'll step away for a little bit, I go back, I'm like, what? No, it's gone.
No. So fast too. So fast.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's where they need to put ThunderCats. Put the old cartoon on Tubi. They've got all the other 80s stuff on there almost.
Yeah.
Put that on there. But I think Jim was on there, if I'm not mistaken.
Jim was on there, so that's right. Reach another audience. Reach a whole new platform that might not be accessible to you, definitely.
And it's free. You just got to watch commercials. It's a great place to rediscover the old stuff like we've been talking about, old cartoons, movies, TV shows. So, for sure, yeah.
Daniel, thank you so much for this. I can't wait for that episode on Sailor Moon coming up, the manga. I will be waiting on edge of my seat because I love any Sailor Moon content.
Yes, he does.
My informants tell me.
My source tells me maybe
Your sauce.
She even looks older.
How dare you say that to me?
I didn't think Lion-O was like that.
I tell you it's true. The information comes from my best source. There's another thing. According to my source,
I did it for the money. And I paid the money. Are you sure your source is on our side?
You got mail.
And keep your foot off that blasted Sommoflan.
Metesh has been so busy. Not only has Metesh been re-listening to the episodes from the beginning, Metesh wrote 2 fantastic reviews. He also sent us, David, the ThunderCats comic from the UK he was telling us about, where they talk about Mumm-ra's feelings, the one from the 80s, where she talks about being left alone and abandoned. He sent these amazing reviews of The Last Day and our upcoming episode of Return to Thundera, parts 1 through 5. So, Metesh says, here we are, my dear Ryan and beloved David, on our last day on Third Earth. We've all had some good times, some silly times, and some have had some sexy times enjoying the classic adventures of our beautiful cats in actions. I write this review in April and thought I posted it, but never mind, it is here. Hope you enjoyed it. Ho! I'll start with the ancient spirits of Panthro's voice giving Dustra what my uncle would have called a serious bullocking, a big telling off in his failures. Dustra has been unfriended by all of his crew, and then those bastards blast and send off the beautiful mumm-ra away into another dimension. How dare they? So, he has basically 12 hours to live and succeed, or else it's going to hit the Thunder fan hard. Blat. The T-Cats are all got the shakes due to their season coming to an end, and contracts are up for renewal. All ThunderCats are on high alert, and we have not seen them being this efficient since Ho the movie. Then they are faced with the ultimate Hunkra, the ever ugly. He welcomes them to Doomsday. I love it when they cross over with Marvel Comics. I wonder what plan Dr. Doom has in store for us. He starts spewing his typical rhetoric, and now he has his 5 fingers upgrade. Now it's time for the ultimate Third Earth tournament, round 1. Hunkra versus Tigra. He whips and gets finger blasted all over. What a pathetic display from Tigra. Round 2. Next, Hunkra versus Chitara. She is such a badass and gives him all the speed, jumping, and stick blasting she can. But the Hunkster wins another round. Now it's time for round 3 of the Third Earth tournament. Now Hunky gives a great display of light and destroys the Thunder Tank. I was expecting a montage or beautiful memories Panthro had for his baby. In this, the last time we see the Thunder... Is this the last time we see the Thunder Tank? Question mark. Panthro knows if Lionel does not get to hoe out, he'll be up all night. So he jumps in the way and is zapped. And we see Panthro presumably killed too. Round 4. Mumm-ra versus Lionel. Of course, why zap him away? Let's bury him in lava. Probably what he did to the Lunatics. Yes, right? We did. Originally, Lionel only has the Eye of Thundera. That should be fine. It's never caused Mumm-ra problems in the past. And it's the last day of Mumm-ra, so he has so much packing to do. Cancel the milk, the water the plants, etc. Cancel the milk. He probably does get a milk delivery. Ultimate Hunkra gets a time check since it's getting close to his ultimate bedtime, and he shrinks a bit. Sympathies, Mumm-ra. All those things happen when you get older. You are a bag of dust. Round 5. Hunkra versus the Tower of Omens. He shows off his shiny muscles to the kittens and smashes that tower into biscuit crumbs. Snarf has now snarfed in his pants and calls the not-so-new ThunderCats, who are doing some space sightseeing, and Linkso's idea is a flashback. So it's back to the Book of Omens. This was funny when Snarf was asked by the Guardian, "Do you have the key?" And Snarf's like, "I got all the thunder crap from the Silverneer shop." Outside, the kittens get blasted. So young. Never mind. All of the original ThunderCats have been killed, right? but the ThunderCats are in limbo, and Jaga has one of his get-out-of-jail-free card idea to save the day. Such a cheat. Next time Belle does not want to have a bath, I will announce, with our mystery power combined, we will scrub and clean this beautiful Belle. I'll step away into the mist and it will work, I'm sure. Right, Jaga? Yes, Metesh, I hope you use your Jaga voice. I want you to wear a cloak, too, if possible. Lionel calls an Omen Uber and flies off to the lair. And boy, is Dustra surprised. Suddenly, Lionel gets a FaceTime call from Snarf with all the spoils. We get some sword-on-sword action, followed by Lionel pulling the old look behind you gag. And the mummy looks to get a thunder pipe in his face from the spirits. And as the sun sets, the ancient spirits of the tax collectors come with the bailiffs to collect their debt. Uldra gets dimensioned off too, and the new ThunderCats missed it all. Boy, were they useful. But will they be able to explain their tan lines to Lionel when he asks, where the hell were you, pussy? Lionel ends by saying, now that we have messed up this old planet, let's do the same to New Thundera. And they all high-five, fist-ho to the sky. Despite Jaga's BS, this episode is unquestionably one of my top 5 episodes, yes, due to Hunkra and his ancient spirits of body oil. Send a bottle to our Davra. It gets 5 hoes. Are you ready for all that body oil?
I am ready.
Let's all pack up our bags and I'll grab my toothbrush and see you all over on How Did This Planet and its people all come back to life again? Oh, never mind. That's not important. Let's return to Thundera. Movie ho! Bye, my retro brothers. Love Metesh and the mystery pups. Oh my god. Bunglers. Thank you for this. We have so much more mail to get through, but we just wanted to get these out there. Metesh, thank you so much for sending these 2 epic reviews, and also the ThunderCats annual comic with Mumm-ra from the 80s that we have to get to about her, talking about her being left and all of that. So thank you, our dear, beautiful Metesh. And Bunglers, we are back. We are back next week. We just, again, have to record, film, edit, all that jazz. But we are back finally with season 4. We do have Bungler mail. We haven't forgotten about all of you amazing Bunglers. It's been too long, but we had to finish with Freddy, and here we are. We're finally back to the cats. As always, you could reach us at Radical Retro Rewind Podcast, but ThunderCats 1985 Reviews. That's our little Instagram with ThunderCats. Again, we will have Daniel's links in the description box below. And should I call somebody a hoe? It's been so long. I haven't called anyone a hoe in like 4 months.
So are you saying that I have not been a hoe in 4 months?
You have not been hoed in 4 months, and now Daniel's joining us. So now
you've had a reprieve for 4 months.
I had a reprieve. Oh, I'm a reformed hoe. I'm just ready to hoe up for the next season.
You're ready to. I hope you saved all your hoeing up for this very moment. So.
Oh my.
So it's always ThunderCats ho.
Who you calling a hoe? Me? Is it me? Am I the drama? Am I the hoe?
Yes.
I'll take a little.
I'm gonna give some hoe.
Yeah.
I'm giving some hoe to you. And you get a hoe. And you get a hoe.
Yeah.
With the Lunatics, mutants, and mumm-ra banished, the ThunderCats return to New Thundera to rebuild their home planet. But the ancient spirits of evil give mumm-ra one last chance to destroy the ThunderCats. They tell him that if he sabotages the planet's mighty gyroscope, New Thundera will lose its gravity and everything will be flung into space. Stay with us all week for this special 5-part adventure.